This video is going to be a quick walkthrough of what the escrow process looks like for most buyers who are buying a home here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Hope you enjoy it. Hi, my name is Joe Polyak, local San Francisco Bay Area real estate agent with Rise Homes, and I make videos like this for people like you who might be thinking about buying or selling real estate here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Hope you find this video helpful, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button. Feel free to share this video, and if you have any feedback, we would love to see it in the comments section below. I want to walk through the escrow process of when somebody's buying a home here in the San Francisco Bay Area, because it might be a little bit different than a lot of other areas. In our area, it's very common that sellers provide full inspection reports and a full, hopefully a completely transparent disclosure package where everything is provided to potential buyers in advance so that buyers can make offers confidently and oftentimes removing buyer investigation or otherwise known as inspection contingencies. It's very common in our area to have offers accepted or present offers with no contingencies whatsoever. Oftentimes buyers will be completely underwritten, approved for a loan before making an offer, and usually we review the comparable sales to make sure that we don't need an appraisal contingency, or in case a property doesn't appraise, they have enough cushion and enough money to eat that potential difference. So oftentimes it is a very important thing that buyers submit a fully non-contingent offer in order to be competitive, because we have a still multiple offer environment here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Usually the escrow process can take anywhere from 15 to maybe even 45 days on the really long end, but oftentimes on average, if somebody is completely underwritten approved, or at least pre-approved, not fully underwritten, but pre-approved, escrow might just take 20 to 25 days, maybe 30 maximum. Usually the first thing that we do the day after offer accepted is the buyer will submit or deposit a 3% earnest money deposit. In our area, the common and traditional amount is 3%. That is usually deposited within 1 business day of offer acceptance. So if your offer is accepted on a Thursday, generally speaking, we want you to be in the bank by Monday morning to deposit the 3% deposit into escrow. In our area, title and escrow are the same company. So the title officer and the escrow officer is the same person. We do not do attorneys like they do, I believe, on the East Coast or in other areas of the country. The escrow officer or somebody from their team will send you a secure email with wire instructions, and you will go to the bank or wire the money online through your bank account, and you will just make sure to give the escrow officer or one of their assistants a call to make sure that the account number and the account information is accurate, because wire fraud is very real and you want to be careful to not send your money to somebody who is not the escrow company. Next step is, once you do that, is to get started right away working with your lender, if applicable. If you are getting a loan, you've already gotten pre-approved and hopefully even essentially underwritten approved by your lender. Generally speaking, if I'm your agent, I already sent the purchase agreement to the lender. That's one document they need, and the contact information for the escrow officer so they can go from there. And then the lender should either contact you or you contact them right away in order to get started on the underwriting process. There's going to be this back and forth of, oh, well, hold on, I need this a little bit different, or I need this way, or, oh, can you write an explanation letter for this item, etc., etc. So you want to get started working right away, and you want to be readily available to respond right away to what sometimes seems a little bit unreasonable and a little bit excessive and annoying requests from the lender. Keep in mind that the reason why lenders are asking you for a lot of information, very detailed information that seems kind of arbitrary, is because of the 2008 financial crisis, because lending standards were a little bit too lax and giving away money to people who were not able to afford these loans. You just do the work and you provide them what they need right away, and you're good to go. One of the first things the lender does once they get the ratified contract is they order the appraisal to come in. And it really depends on the appraisal company and the appraiser how quickly they come out there. Generally speaking, the average is an appraiser is at the property within a week and gets us a report back no later than 2 weeks after the appraisal has been ordered. Sometimes it's much faster than that. It is closer to a week or less. It's the agent's job to just make sure and facilitate as quick and smooth of an entrance for the appraiser as possible. Assuming we get that report back in a timely manner for the purchase price or above, then we are good to go. If the appraisal comes back at a value than the purchase price, then your lender will discuss your options with you. Usually that's something along the lines of either restructuring the loan in some way to be a different number potentially, or having to bring in additional funds to cover that difference between what the appraiser valued the property at and the purchase price. Next thing is you want to just make sure to be available and plan to head back to the property. You want to come in and start already interviewing contractors so that by the time escrow closes, we don't waste any time and you already have your contractors coming in doing any projects that you want. Sometimes that's just, maybe doing some floors or painting or some minor repairs or maybe a full remodel or whatever it is. But you want to be ahead of the game and just get people in as soon as possible so that you can schedule people as soon as possible, because if you're paying mortgage and rent, we want to minimize the double spend that you're doing there, or at least I would like to do that for my clients to make sure that they're not needlessly blowing money on a mortgage and rent. Also to come in and take measurements for furniture. A lot of people want to buy new furniture for their new home, and so it's really important that you take the measurements and you start ordering furniture in advance, because sometimes furniture can take 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks or more to be delivered. When I'm your agent, I will make sure to make myself available, or one of our assistants on our team will be available to make sure we get you into the property as soon as possible. And we also provide you with a spreadsheet with all of our contractors and vendors that we regularly use and would recommend for you to be able to call yourself, or we can schedule those people to come for you, in addition to any other contractors that you got referrals of that you would like to get bids from in addition. Arrange movers, because obviously movers are going to be backed up sometimes. If you do plan on moving in very close to close of escrow, you want to just make sure that you plan ahead so that, again, there are no delays and you have that situation set up correctly. Expect to receive estimates of your closing costs and your interest rates and everything like that from your lender. Make sure to review everything in detail. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your real estate agent. Hopefully that's us here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Make sure you really understand what your closing costs are and what your loan commitment is and what you're paying every month, and make sure you understand everything. At a certain point, the underwriter will submit your documents and everything for final approval, and once you get that, you're good. And the next step would be that you would get your closing disclosure, which gives your final numbers for everything. It's important also to call all the utility companies in advance and make sure you schedule them for changing over the utility, so there's no break in connection, so you don't get there and then you forgot to turn on the water and then have a delay with something like that. So make sure to call all the utility companies, and if there's an HOA, make sure to get in touch with the HOA and see if there's any transitioning you need to do. At a certain point, once the loan is final approved and everything is good to go, the lender will send the loan documents to escrow. Escrow will call you and schedule a signing. Usually they'll send a notary to wherever is convenient for you to sign. Once you sign your closing documents, then the lender will wire the closing funds, so the loan amount that they promised you, into escrow. At the same time, after you sign, or maybe even before, if you get the correct numbers, you should wire your down payment amount and the funds needed to close escrow, so your down payment and your closing costs wired to escrow to make sure that everything is in there so that you have a nice, smooth close of escrow. After the lender wires funds, you wire funds, or maybe right around that same time, or maybe a little bit before, we'll do a final walkthrough, where at this point, the staging and all the furniture in the property should be out, unless there's going to be a seller rent back, which we can cover at another time. But assuming it's just a traditional normal sale and the property was vacant, or maybe a person was living there, but they're going to be out before close of escrow, you want to do a final walkthrough, and you can just, make sure to see if there's any scratches or any issues that you didn't notice one of the other times you were there. It's really important that you go in to see the house at least a couple of times before you even make an offer. Review the disclosure packages, review the inspection reports, take your time, go through everything, of course, and see the property multiple times. If you're working with me, we would have seen the property, somewhere between 5 to 10 times before we do the final walkthrough. The final walkthrough is that final, just making sure everything looks good and there are no issues, and we take some notes in case there's anything egregious, like a hole in the floor that was under a couch, major scratches underneath certain areas, things like that. After that, pretty much that's it. Escrow closes, they record it at the county records office, and you are officially a homeowner. After escrow is closed, we still will help you. Okay, so we're still always available, and a good realtor should do this and provide great customer service. Escrow is closed, you're officially a homeowner, but you will have a lot more questions and you'll have a lot more things that you forgot about, that you didn't know about, that the seller didn't know about, that just things happen. It's really important that you feel free to reach out to us if we're your real estate team, but also just any agent should be willing and able to answer any questions for you throughout this transition period during the first 1 to 3 months of when you move into your new home or are planning on moving into your new home. Again, I hope this video was helpful and hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the little bell notification next to it, the like button. Feel free to comment with any feedback you have for us, please. Thanks again.